Hello and welcome to the second match of the Bingo Tournament between Kerbis and Briguy. I am Vash, and I will be commentating this match. And just for documentation's sake, the runners have agreed to not allow clips except for the Metro Outfit Door clip and Snow clip, and I will comment about those when they become more relevant. So starting off here, it's a fairly simple Cap Kingdom. Both racers are doing pretty well here. Right now, they're probably furiously looking at this board, trying to come up with a route for themselves. And they're probably feeling good about noticing a couple of trends on this board, like the middle space is one that runners tend to like. They're probably feeling a little bit mixed on, you know, some of the cap goals, and probably not liking some of these other goals. But we'll see how they choose the route. Interesting to see how neck and neck it is here at Cap Kingdom. And it does look like both players are going to be getting some purple coins in Cascade. Probably for the 25 regionals and Cascade goal. Also, something interesting to note is that both players opted to skip the cutscenes. Some players do like to route during the cutscenes. And we're already starting to see the differences, where Kerbis will stop there to get some purples, just because he's already here, whereas Briguy is going to look to get purples later on here, or maybe even stay in Cascade for longer.
Hey, what's going on, Vash? Sorry, a little bit here. Just getting all set up. What's going on, guys? Hope you're ready for this awesome match. So what do you think about this card so far?
If I had to comment on the card, there are things I could take and leave.
Yeah,
I really love Goomba Picture Match in the middle.
Yeah, that one's always a little free. It's an easy, quick go back.
Mm-hmm.
So
Not a fan of 3 World Peace.
3 world piece. Yeah, I feel you on that one. So if you had to pick a favorite column or row here, what would you pick?
Favorite column?
Or row.
If I had to choose a favorite, like bingo, it's probably bottom left to top right.
Roger that. Bottom left, top right. Yeah, 4 stickers. It's pretty easy peasy. 8 moons and cap. Now you're a fan of you said bottom left to top right. You're a fan of going back to cap.
I am a big fan of going back to cap. I think that cap has a lot to offer, but we usually shy away from it because we're like, oh, going back to somewhere, right?
Yeah. But yeah, as you stated, yeah, that center square is very free, so expect a lot of our runners to be going for that.
Mm-hmm.
And now, if anybody's familiar with the community here, they'll know that both these guys are amazing bingo players, both Briguy and Kerbis.
Mm-hmm.
So expect an awesome match out of these guys. We already see a little bit of a big difference here. Briguy getting out of Cascade as quickly as he can, so we'll see what his plan is here. And Kerbis is going to stick around a little bit, maybe showing a little bit. Okay, Kerbis is fine. He knows what he's doing. Don't worry about me. I was freaking out there a little. So yeah, Kerbis definitely planning to stay in Cascade a little bit longer. Maybe showing a little bit what he's going for here as Briguy's heading right off the sand. So
Kerbis opting to stay in Cascade to potentially pick up that top left square, 60 minutes in Cascade, but he's also doing this dinosaur room because it does offer a lot of coins.
Yes, and coins are a lot. Yeah, if anybody's familiar with any percent, we don't really care about coins. We get 200 and we're out. But in bingo, obviously coins are a lot more. You gotta maybe buy some outfits, which can either be used for purple coins or just regular gold coins. And Kerbis missing one of the spiny there, so let's come back for it. Looks like he still needs a few more. He'll have to run around and see what he needs here. I'm not sure where he missed some.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either, but out there.
Yeah, those things can be quite the pain in the butt. And if you don't know about that room, you have to kill every single one of those spinies in there to get that moon to spawn. So we'll see if he stays around in Cascade for this. I assume he will be because he is grabbing these moons, not just going for the coins. But
I'm a little bit interested to see that. I didn't quite catch it, but I don't think that Briguy got 25 purples in Cascade.
You know what? I don't think he did either. So, I'm not even sure if he made a stop for the quick 3 behind. No,
he did. So I think that maybe his plan is to come back to Cascade later.
That's very, very true. These runners are pretty much free to route this any way they want. One of the exciting things about bingo here is, not only do you have to know a lot about this game, where everything is, and there's 100 purple coins in every kingdom, so you got a lot to learn or a lot to know but also you got to route it on the fly. And we're seeing Briguy really kind of rush through Sand Kingdom here, kind of pretty much doing the fastest route that we know to get through. So we'll see what he opts to stay in and do here. As I'm gonna take a minute and look over this card. Maybe we can.
Yeah, I was just about to say, looking at the card, I think that he's doing this because Sand Kingdom doesn't really offer much for this card. Very few of these goals can really be worked on here. Multi-moon, stickers, hats, moons, but other than that, not too much.
Definitely not. And it does look like, Kerbis obviously already checking off 1 mark there, but it's way too early to call anything. We're not even near the end of this. So, if anybody's not familiar with what an average bingo takes, a really good bingo is sub an hour, and then I would say anywhere between 50 minutes to an hour and 20 is what probably most of our runners are looking for here. And it's all based on the card. Obviously the card is random. There is a logic to it that they kind of all can be completed around the same time. But and not take too long. You're gonna see most of these most of the bingo, you'll never see anybody go past Seaside or Snow. So it doesn't take very
Usually
long.
in bingo, you will see people either they will go to Snow or Seaside. Very rarely do we see a Sneeside and Snow. And I don't think I've ever seen a luncheon, but
yeah, I've never seen.
There's always room.
And you know what? I mean, if it's fast, you gotta do it right. So, and it definitely looks like Kerbis is going for that
Yeah, he has to be
1-1
going for
spot
the
there.
16 moon.
Now, now a lot of these runners are going to be looking. We are doing an unfortunate.
Ooh, yeah, an
I wonder if you got the
unfortunate bonk for
checkpoint.
Briguy.
While that jump's not very hard, and losing any height there or anything like that is will cause that death there. But not the end of the world. He did not get the checkpoint, so he will lose a bit of time there. So
Yep.
that may mess up his bird cycle a little bit too. So we'll see where he's at.
He should have a backup for the bird,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
will
he
be pretty
can go for
interesting
note.
to see.
As he gets up there just fine. He does still need 3 moons, so he'll be fine. Yeah, if he was planning to get the bird and it's off the cycle now, he'll just go for notes. So. Now back to so if anybody's not familiar with bingo here, we are doing triple bingo, so they do need to get 3 lines in a row, whether that be a column, a row, or a diagonal. So, and they're gonna kind of playing around like, well, obviously, if you do 1 in row 1, that also helps your column 1. So it's all just a lot of planning and a lot of just kind of knowledge and rounding on the fly.
Technically, optimally, you would want to choose 1 column, 1 row, and 1 diagonal, but that is not always the case because sometimes it would be faster just to do more spaces.
Now he is going over. It looks like he's going to go for employees only. Maybe just going back over. It looks like purple coins are something he's going to want here.
Having a little bit of struggle getting onto this roof.
Make some noise for these plants, yo. Saving him. Okay, let's go see what he buys. Looks like he.
It was Earth Day recently.
It was. Make some noise for these plants.
Kerbis entering Sand Kingdom now, which is pretty interesting considering Briguy is basically leaving Sand Kingdom right now.
Yeah, so it looks like he's just rushing to some late game here. Maybe gonna plan to spend some extra time in. Now I was kind of a little distracted there. What did he buy in the shop?
I believe that he bought
a
sticker and a hat.
Right on. So maybe he is planning to do that diagonal like you were just talking about. Vash here showing off some nice knowledge there, kind of already giving some foresight into what these runners are going to be doing.
Now let's see. Neither of them. Oh, Briguy didn't go for inverted pyramid, so I doubt that he's going for multi. Because multi moons. Oh, he bought a moon and sticker.
Right on.
All right, yeah. So he's Briguy is definitely getting the bottom right space. So looking at the other 2, he's probably getting row 5.
Definitely, and we are going to see Briguy go back to Cap Kingdom here, so you're probably going to expect to see him get 8 moons here.
We should be expecting him to get 8 moons here and 10 regional coins. Oh! No, just 10 regional coins, and then he's going to peace out.
Right on. So already kind of having a little bit different plan than what we thought here. So
yeah, that surprised me a lot.
Now help me out, Vash. Here are the I kind of missed the setup here. Are the runners checking their own boxes here?
Yes, runners are checking their own box.
So looks like I assume Kerbis got 16 in Cascade. Maybe
he
just in a bit of a hurry. You don't exactly have a whole lot of time to especially if you only got 1 monitor or whatever.
Oh, no, okay, no. Yeah. He got 15 in Cascade, and so he's probably planning on coming back later because Cascade is one of the few kingdoms that is different on a return, in such that it has a shop and there are 2 new moons available when you return to it. So he's probably planning on coming back to Cascade, using the purples that he got to buy a hat and a moon.
Yeah, no, definitely smart move there from him. And back to just the know-how that you have to have for this. You have to, you have to look at that card and say, what are 16 moons even available to me right now in Cascade? So definitely a lot of thinking you got to do on the fly here.
The other big thing is when you see things like 5 multi-moons, you have to think, all right, where do I actually get multi-moons? Which of these are multi-moons? Where are nuts? How many nuts are there? There's a whole lot of things to juggle.
Yeah, and so a lot of things aren't even available to you until after World Peace. So that's why we see Briguy kind of rushing to the boss here. If he does plan to do more things in Lake, after killing this boss, it's considered having the peace in this kingdom done. And if you're not familiar with, like what's completing World Peace, it's a little bit different in every kingdom. So like in Metro, we have to finish the festival, and then that brings world peace. And Lake, all you gotta do is kill the boss. Now Sand world peace is a very long one, so we don't see a lot of runners go for that unless it's something very specific, as Kerbis is also just kind of making his way quickly through Sand Kingdom here, probably planning to just get a few things and get his way out. He did stop in Sphinx Room to grab all those coins, so he's probably gonna be sitting pretty on coins.
Also, something to note is that a thing that may have influenced both runners' decisions not to go for World Peace in Sand or to fight the boss is that they agreed not to allow sand clips, so no Sphinx clip and no inverted pyramid clip. So in order for them to go to Pyramid, they would have had to do shards and a tower, which aren't exactly fast.
Yes, those can take quite a bit of time, especially if you can't clip through, like you said. So we'll see if Kerbis can get this jump first try. Easy peasy. Again, that jump's not exactly the hardest jump in the world, but that wall can be really finicky to kick off of.
Briguy making sure to view the art here for his return to Cascade.
Right on.
Oh, yeah, Briguy is planning on doing that, I think.
So maybe our runners kind of, having the same mindset when it comes to what columns and rows they want to go for, but just a little bit different routing here. So it's really awesome to see how everybody handles each one of these bingo cards. And so if people aren't familiar with some of these, like we did see Briguy go, Briguy is going to be going for, this is a very difficult jump here. We'll see if he can get this first try.
My.
Briguy. So that is going to be a warp painting moon. I don't know if those are needed here on
That's
the
not
board,
even a space on the board.
Yeah.
He's just
showing off some swag there. And if you guys aren't familiar with that is a relatively hard jump. One of the harder ones you can do here in Lake Kingdom. So very awesome. He got that first try.
It's even more impressive because even though he doesn't get nearly as much benefit out of doing that as he would in other situations, it still is a moon that he can get while he waits for something else to happen.
Looks like he's going to be going for these coins right over here. And again, just all the little things all of these runners need to know, like where are the big, where are quick, easy amount of coins that I can get? Where are quick moons that I can get? So, and someone in the chat did ask earlier, what is a sub area? A sub area would be pretty much anything you gotta go through loading zone for. There are some there are some weird, a cap door is almost always a loading zone. I can't think of a sub area. I can't think of a time that's not.
I don't think that any of them
are not sub areas. Yeah. Now shop moons, I don't believe we count those as sub areas, but there are some weird ones like the pipeway in Wooded Kingdom. We count that as a sub area. So it's not always a cap door, but every cap door is a sub area. So.
As a rule of thumb, any area where you enter and Cappy will talk to you and say, hey, I think we've missed something here, is a sub-area.
Now we'll see what Kerbis goes for here in this kingdom.
Kerbis also went back to Cap to get those 10 regionals. And unlike Briguy, he is using the shops here because Cap and Cascade and a couple of other kingdoms have the benefit of their shop being outside, so you get to skip a loading screen.
Now he's going to be buying a hat here.
No, he only bought a sticker.
Oh, sticker. Sorry, I missed that. And we're already seeing some checkoffs here from a lot of our runners kind of showing their hand. Now, purchase 5 moons. That one's a pretty easy one. You kind of already go into those kingdoms anyway, so why not? So we'll probably see that bottom right one checked off 5-5 there.
Yeah. The thing to note for why Briguy is routing in coins is because since he doesn't spend too long anywhere, he really wants to look for large amounts of coins in a small space. And it's a little bit tighter on this run. It's a little bit scarier when you can't clip into Pyramid, because if you can't clip into Pyramid, you miss out on 200, 250 coins.
Now, this is some very smart rounding from Kerbis here. He did only need 1 more moon when he returned to Cascade. And he also, maybe he's going for purchase 5 moons. So it is very smart. Kind of 2 birds with 1 stone there. Really showing off some. Now, Briguy may do the same thing. So very smart routing from both these runners here, like I said.
Briguy coming back here as well. This is where Briguy will actually use the fact that he's in a different starting spot to route his Cascade differently. So.
And now one advantage that Briguy is going to have a little bit over Kerbis, maybe just route-wise, he may go for the 16 moves in Cascade, and he did go to Lake and look at the hint art. So if you guys aren't familiar with hint arts, you go to Lake Kingdom, and it has a hint art for Cascade. And so when you go to Cascade, that moon is there.
But that moon will actually count as a lake.
Correct. Yep. So just just some awesome rounding for both these guys here. Like I said, both these guys are big runners of these games. Kerbis runs Dark Side very frequently, and Briguy is just a bingo god. So
Bingo God is a very accurate title.
Yeah. But also, somebody brings up a very good point in the chat here, is neither of our runners did go for the 8 moons in Cap, even though they did return to Cap Kingdom. So it looks like they are probably going to be ignoring row 4 there. So. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they'll go back later. Maybe they got some ideas that I can't even think of. So.
I'm a little bit shocked by that because I had picked row 4 as an okay row at least. The worst thing about it being 110 minutes total, but
sorry, yeah, I meant to say darker side. My bad, y'all. Kerbis darker side. I mix that up pretty frequently.
It's pretty easy to mix them up because in most games you don't.
There's only 2 letters difference. So.
Yeah. Kerbis making sure he picks up at least a couple of purple coins so we can get his sticker here.
Now, both of our runners are probably going to be entering the area of Wooded here pretty shortly. So, what are your thoughts? What do you think they're going to do in Wooded here?
I think that they may both go for World Peace and Wooded, which will, I think, be the first time I've seen World Peace Wooded done in a bingo.
You look at World Peace and 3 Kingdoms and you think like, oh man, that's really long. But I mean, we're kind of already knocking out World Peace and Cascade and Lake right away. So if these runners kind of want to get this done before they have to get through Metro, that's kind of 3 Kingdoms you can get World Peace in relatively quickly there. And Briguy almost falling off that ledge there, but not worried at all, getting right back over.
Scaring the viewers who don't know that really you're just taking a shortcut. Kerbis entering the shop to purchase his moon and get his sticker.
Definitely. As Braga is just looks like he's going to be also going for the 16 moons here in Cascade. So we might be looking at the same route from, or the same kind of mindset from both these guys here. Obviously, you know, that we've already seen is different in routing, but definitely fun to see how everybody kind of handles the card that they've been given.
It's also a little bit interesting to see which sub areas these runners prefer. So Kerbis did not opt to do Chain Chomp Room, but Briguy did. I have noticed that Briguy and Zinpars, I think, like the Chain Chomp Room.
Briguy making quick work of this room here. And so if you guys aren't familiar with the captors, with the exception of the puzzle rooms, almost every single captor has 2 moons in it, one being pretty obvious and the other one being a little bit hidden. So like you said earlier, Cappy will say like, hey, I think we missed something here. So kind of hinting towards you, being like, oh, maybe there's probably another moon in here.
Alright, and Briguy is headed to Wooded.
All right, we'll see. This kingdom being a very large kingdom when it comes to the bingo, as you can see.
Especially on this board, people should note that there's a hint art here. There are 2 nut spaces, and nut spaces are done in Wooded. There's World Peace in Wooded. There's Regionals in Wooded. There's just a whole lot going on here.
It looks like Kerbis is going to be finishing up his Lake Kingdom there, and we'll see. He'll probably be off to Wooded himself. So, I mean, looking like an extremely close race here from both these runners. You know, to be only just a little bit, kind of going into Wooded just a little bit behind each other, is pretty. For me, very entertaining to watch. So
it's super interesting because if you watch, I mean, ignoring Cat Kingdom. If you watch from Cat Kingdom on, you'd be like, well, they're in completely different spots right now. But really, there's a whole lot more similarity than what it looks like.
I'll see what Briguy goes for here. Looks like he's going to make a stop to grab some purple coins real quick. Very smart. There's a lot of purple coins right here around this area.
Wooded is very kind in its purple coins, since it's one of the large kingdoms in the game, so it has 100. And most people are pretty comfortable with getting at least over 50 here, so
yeah,
you'll definitely see a lot of purple getting here.
There's just moons all over the place here, so looks like Briguy is really making a point to get all the purple coins he can here. More than likely going for we may see him go for the 60 regional coins here, which may seem like a lot, but just like
he's definitely going for it.
Yeah, you kind of go. You're most of the time in every bingo card that has a relatively decent focus on Wooded Kingdom. You're kind of already running all over the place anyway, so why not grab them? Some very clean movement there from Briguy, as Kerbis is starting off his Wooded Kingdom too. We'll see what he goes for here.
Kerbis not opting to pick up any purples on the way.
And maybe one of those things, you know, since you do get warped back after the loss, and he may buy something from the shop there and then go for the purple coins. As Briguy, typically you're supposed to do this room with a uproot, but we're going to see him do it a pretty swaggy way here with up throws. So very nice there from Briguy.
Doing it without the intended capture, and also doing it in reverse because you were supposed to be exiting there.
So just, you know, all those little things that really just kind of show off the routing and the talent of these runners. It's always fun to see how everybody handles just all these scenarios. Missing this triple jump there, but not a big deal. Now, I'm sure most of you guys know these are the nuts that we're talking about when it says 9 moons from nuts. So Now, I'm not exactly sure how many moons there are from Nuts before and after.
12.
12?
I
Okay,
know
right.
before and after. I know that there are 12 total. I'm not sure how many there are before World Peace. I think it's 12. I don't think, no. I think it's 10. I think it's 10.
Now, one thing, if anybody caught it there, Kerbis pretty much did step on the purple goop there, which would normally damage you, but there's a fancy trick you can do here where if you get a first frame jump on the purple, it does not hurt you.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, we may see him go for that again when he jumps across to kill the piranha plant. So we'll just watch out for that. Yeah, just one of those tiny little things that helps you out a little bit. We'll see if Kerbis goes for it again here. Probably
And
will not. Probably will not
Kerbis will be
have to.
jumping up. But Kerbis will be trying to collect the purple coins in a slightly different way. He will not be doing up throws. He will instead be gaining more height and then trying to get all of them in one throw. Misses one, so didn't quite work out, but not that big of a deal.
Yeah, watch. So that's another first frame jump there from Kerbis. Just those tiny things. Now he does leave that moon. If you're not familiar, every moon takes a little bit to become active. Like if he were to jump at that moon, he would go right through it without grabbing it. So he says, you know what, I'll come back for that later, not waste my time waiting around for it. So
I'll get that moon when it's ready.
Nice and ripe. We like our moons nice and ripe. As Briguy enters the fight with Spirit here, very simple fight. If anybody's familiar with any percent, you've seen this boss 100 times. It's pretty much just jump on his head 3 times and get out of there. Now he is taking his time to grab all these coins. If you're not familiar, he is grabbing those hearts, and you think like, why is he grabbing those hearts? He's at full health. But if you're at full health when you grab a heart, it just gives you coins instead. So why not grab it?
And let's see how Kerbis does on skipping the road.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
And that jump, kind of being rather difficult, and a very large risk for not the biggest time save.
Yeah,
but, all these runners, I'm sure,
scary.
are so. Okay, he makes it off there, but yeah, it's very scary, and even the second part of it can be a little bit scary. Those platforms do kind of trick you out sometimes, but not a problem. I'm sure, but all these runners are very practiced in that movement. And now Briguy is going to come back. Looks like he's going to head off to grab a few extra purple coins. There's a lot of purple coins here in this early area. Just showing off all those little secret areas, all those tiny things you do need to know to get a good time at bingo here. So as he heads off to the shops, and he's going to be buying another sticker here.
And that will be all for him from the purples, and then he'll buy a moon.
And now he did spend some purple coins, but you know, to activate the or to get credit for the 60 purple coins, he just had to have at total gained that many coins, and so it's not.
He doesn't
like,
have to have
well,
60. He just has to have gotten.
So use these uproots to grab these other ones, and then will grab this nut moon over here, and then he'll probably jump up to the tanks and grab some up there.
Yep.
Just one of those things that he does after World Peace, because those tanks don't spawn until after World Peace. So you'll see him go for a jump to get up here. Making quick work of that. He'll probably take over this tank and make himself a path. Now, one little thing you may see some runners do is you don't necessarily have to break stairs in order to get up there. You know, you saw him shoot a lot of shots to kind of make a stair path for him to get up there. I'm not sure if he broke some more because there's stuff behind him, but
that rolling was so good.
Yeah, super swaggy there from Briguy. Most of the time you see people go for a hat throw to get in there. But the jump we see Briguy doing now, you can technically make it up there with just breaking the blocks in front of the moon, but it can be a little bit difficult jump as he grabs these purple coins. as Kerbis is, to be honest with you, not very far behind Briguy here. Just pretty much taking the same track. Now, I do think he does have a little bit more coins than what Briguy had when he was here. So
he is a couple of coins ahead if we're looking purely based on where they were at the time. I think that he may have picked up 3 or 5 more, which will probably come into play here because going into the boss, Briguy is not at 60, so he'll have to pick some up before he leaves.
now Briguy, it looks like he only needs.
Ooh.
Ooh, unfortunate there, just missing that last shot. As it looks like we are going to see a Briguy definitely going for world peace here in Wooded. So. Now,
Kerbis is going for fewer shots.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, where you can get up there without needing to break a little bit of a stairway for yourself, as Kerbis does just need 3 more coins and he meets that requirement. You see, he makes it up there just fine. So.
Opting to not get that moon because he doesn't really need it.
And there's the 60 coins that he needs for Wooded, so he is done with that. Now, I don't believe he stopped at the shop yet, so maybe he's also planning to do that after it warps him back.
Yeah, I think he's doing it right before he leaves. Briguy making some pit stops to pick up a couple more nut moons, and now he is off to the boss.
Now he is at 44 coins here. He did spend 10, I do believe, so he just needs 6 more, and then he meets the requirement. As both these runners having a little bit of trouble with the tanks, it's not a big deal. You're not really like too concerned with those. Now we are seeing. I do believe we're seeing a different route here from Kerbis. I'm not sure if Briguy got this one.
I'm pretty sure Briguy did this as well.
Okay. Yeah,
took a little pit stop.
A little side track. So one person did just ask, why did they skip the moon in the wall? Because they know that they're going to be grabbing enough moons later on, and all they'd need to do is just get up here. So I'm actually grabbing that moon would probably lose them a little bit of time because it's an extra moon that they don't need. So So, maybe they could have, skipped some other ones somewhere else, but, they just know they don't need it. Why sit for the cutscene? So.
Kerbis opting to not pick up the treasure nut. The nut that has coin stacks around it here.
It's Briguy, and pretty much... there's not too many bosses in this game where you just gotta sit around and wait for cycles, but this is one of them.
There's very, very little to do for this boss to make it go faster, which is kind of sad, but...
Well, there's a few bosses like that in this game, Ruined Kingdom being one of them, as Kerbis pretty much enters this boss fight while Briguy leaves it. So we got a very extremely close bingo race here, especially since it appears that most of our runners are going for kind of the same strategy, just a little bit different routing. So an extremely tight race here.
This is a really nice board.
Yeah.
This board allows for a really clean finish time, actually.
Yeah. Definitely. I don't even... Yeah, it looks like most of our runners are not even going to need to leave Metro here. I don't think...
They don't need... They end in loss.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome in my opinion.
It's pretty good. That is usually what we shoot for when we try to finish early, because ending before loss is really hard.
And it looks like Briguy there gets all the coins that he needs, and he's out of his way. Now, one advantage Kerbis will have is that he doesn't need to go back and grab those coins. He does need to go back for the shop, but...
as soon as he's done with this boss, he can just leave.
Kerbis... Did he stop at the shop?
No, Kerbis is not shop.
Okay.
So yeah, so he'll have to go to the shop and then he can.
So definitely just one more step there and he'll be on his way.
Now the only thing that oh no, so yeah, this will be ending in Metro. The only thing that these players care about here is purchasing them.
Yep. So you'll probably see them pretty much do the 80% route with the exception of climbing the tower to go into the shop. So
they will just.
oh, I'm
beat
sorry, I'm
Mecha
ahead of
Wizard.
myself. We got Cloud Kingdom coming up, boys. Can't forget
Yeah.
about Cloud. But
The biggest difference here will just be who does anybody mess up Fast Bowser.
ooh, and Briguy or commentator's curse there a little bit. But what he wanted to go for there was you can grab that hat instantly. So one of the things, if anybody's watching an 80% run or pretty much any run of this game, one of the things our runners are going to want to try for is grabbing the hat before it hits the ground. And you want to be in the air and hit the hat just at the right time. We'll see if Briguy gets it here. He'll backflip, and the hat, you see, just like that, the hat goes right on top of him, saving pretty much a full cycle there. As Bowser doesn't have to throw the hat out. You don't have to stop it and recapture it. So very nice second cycle there from Briguy. He'll probably take damage intentionally on this one. Or, yeah. So to give him just a little bit easier of a setup. So the most important thing there is that they don't hit the hat too late and they don't hit it too early. If you hit it too late, it's all right. The hat just kind of falls to the ground and you grab it. But pretty clean there from Briguy.
Yeah,
only missing up the one
couple
second.
mistakes, but I mean, it's
not too big at all.
Yeah, not too big of a deal at all.
Yeah, it's Briguy is off to loss, so we'll see what his mindset is here. He does need one more sticker, I believe. So
yeah,
like you said, but he does not need to purchase. No, he does need to purchase.
No, he does need to purchase. This will be his last purchase. Yeah, because I always get mixed up in the order on Lost.
Me too.
Sometimes I feel like it's after Metro, and so this will be his last thing, and then he's gonna go back to Cloud. I think that will be.
Oh, Briguy's giving me a little bit of a heart attack. So as he just kind of, a little bit different rounding than we've seen in 80%, as he does, go out of his way to grab a couple of purple coins. He's going to need to buy some stuff. So, although Briguy is a little bit ahead in Kingdoms, he does going to have to make a few more stops, as Kerbis already bought all the moons and all the stickers he needs. So
Kerbis is just going to start heading to Cloud. Oh, I know, he has to repair. Oh, I completely forgot that you have to repair the Odyssey here.
Yeah, you do have to grab all of. You still are restricted to grabbing a specific amount of moons in each kingdom in order to move on to the next. So,
Lost and Ruined are unique in the sense that you cannot backtrack during them because the Odyssey is broken, so you have to use them to actually fix it rather than upgrade the Odyssey like other kingdoms.
So, Kerbis may, I mean, it is bingo, so it is kind of hard to tell who's ahead, but if you thought Briguy was a little bit ahead earlier, it looks Kerbis may pull a little bit of a lead here, as he kind of did some things a little bit earlier, and Briguy intended to do those.
Now, if you're looking at who's ahead, you just gotta watch that lost moon count.
As Kerbis is. I mean, these guys are practically neck and neck. They're going to be grabbing the same moon, pretty much 10-second difference here, I believe, is what we're looking at. So this is awesome, exciting. We got plenty ahead of us, but
this may come down to who does picture match faster.
Oh my goodness, that would be a riot. So if you guys aren't familiar with what Vash is talking about, that card right in the middle, that objective right in the middle is we have to go back to a Cloud for it. And we have to play a little mini game where we take parts of a Goomba, and then we remake a Goomba picture, pretty much like it says there. So, both of them are going to be pretty much at the Odyssey cutscene at the same time. Yeah.
I just did like a small informal count, and it seems like the runners are 6 seconds apart with Briguy ahead. Also, something to note, this does look like it's going to be a sub 50 board, which is extremely misleading for the second game of the tournament. This is not normal. Sub 50 is extremely rare, and it's very good.
Sub hour, or no, yeah, they only need one more card here. You're right, yeah. Maybe a little bit of a no. They do have to go to Metro, like you said. They're kind of stuck in what they're gonna do, so they're probably gonna go right back to the Odyssey and go right to Cloud. So. This is gonna be close, guys. We're talking. Are both these runners on physical or digital? It doesn't matter. I was gonna say loading might be a big difference here too, whether or not they're on digital or physical. I mean, it could come down to that.
I don't disagree. I mean, this is a lot closer than most bingos I see, because normally there's a lot more differences in the routing.
This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy, guys. What? Okay. That was a 4 or 5 second time difference on when they went into that pipe. So
that means that dialogue boxes, cutscenes, made up like a 1 second difference in Metro. Both players need to make sure that they are furiously shaking right now, because it's not listed in game, but if you shake while you're moving these things, then they actually move faster. Oh.
I can't believe this came down to Goomba picture match. And it looks like Briguy.
And
Briguy did take it from the looks of this. Yep, with a 47. A 47 flat. Dude.
But to be fair, it was a very, very close race.
Yep, we're talking. Looks like Kerbis didn't stop his timer there, but it looked like on my end it looked like a 47-15. So
yeah, I agree with that.
15-second difference in a bingo match that was under sub 50 minutes. That's insane.
What a board to almost kick off the tournament.
Oof, that is crazy. Let's see if these guys are around to Yep. Hey, what's going on? We are joined by Briguy and both Kerbis. What's going on, guys? That was insane, by the way. That came down to picture match. Dude. Like, you guys had a 4 or 5 second difference on when you went into picture match.
Wow.
Yeah, it was insane.
That was one of the nuttiest boards I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was so fast.
When I saw that I could basically be done and wooded, I was like, there's no way. But
yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. That's the fastest bingo I've ever had. The fastest triple bingo by 3 minutes.
Oh,
Woo!
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy board.
So, obviously this is group stages. How are you guys feeling about your groups? Like, this was, I think a lot of people were excited for this race. We both knew you were pretty heavy bingo players. So it was, you guys showed off that was super close. Very exciting to watch. So. Now you guys, although you guys went for the same the rows there was a little bit of a routing difference, whether or not when you guys went to Cap and what you guys did in Cascade. So Kerbis, you opted to go for most of those moons in Cascade early. So Briguy came back later.
Actually, my Cascade trip actually cost me, because I went and got a bunch of slow moons thinking I needed them, but I could have gotten a bunch of faster ones outside of those sub areas, and I would have been fine still. But I only realized when I was about halfway through collecting all those moons that I could come back later and get like the shot moon and stuff.
Yeah, so I opted to do it late for 2 reasons. The shot moon, and then I was going to look at the lake hint art and get my 14th lake moon in Cascade, but I picked up too many moons in lake and accidentally mess that one up. But yeah.
No worries, no worries.
I was going
So,
to comment on that because I was like, man, he could have. It looked like he was going for this, but he got one more moon and lake.
Yeah, I just miscounted.
But that was awesome, guys. Like that was so intense. Like it was very very entertaining. So thank you guys so much. But so there's plenty of races left, guys. Bingos. We're super early in the group stages here. What is this, like week 1 practically?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like day 3.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling about your future boards compared to this one?
Oh, dude, nothing is gonna be as nice as this board.
Yeah, this
Like,
was definitely a solid one.
And Briguy, you went for the warp painting moon after the timer challenge.
I did.
Pretty
It's a
ballsy.
really fast one.
Pretty
Yeah,
ballsy. Mhm.
Did you
It's
get
not an
Yeah.
it?
easy jump.
I did get it. Yeah,
first
Wow,
time.
that would
nice.
have cost me the race if I had missed it.
Yeah.
Or
Oh.
well, I guess I could have recovered it with the warp painting moon or the hint art moon, but yeah. I also died on Jaxie skip. That one like really hurt.
Yeah, that hurt a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, sadly, I think Kerbis, like you said, I think you lost a little bit of time there in Cascade, so that might have been the difference there. But other than like I said, you guys went into
Yeah,
the,
I mean, anything could have
picture.
changed
Yeah,
that.
anything could
Literally
have swapped that race.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was awesome, guys. Thank you. That's really awesome. So just we did talk a little bit earlier about like average bingo time. So obviously Kerbis, you said this is your fastest, but like what would you guys say your average is? An hour 10, 50 minutes?
I pretty much at this point I almost always get under an hour, but
Oh,
wow.
depending on the board, like up until this one, I've gotten anywhere from 51 to 51 flat, right up to an hour.
Mhm.
Just it really does depend on the board. Some boards are a lot faster than others.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, there is that bit of randomness as we are, these are all based on, there's an algorithm and some logic to it.
Yeah,
that
they're meant
throws
to be
the ball
balanced,
you.
but some just wind up being a lot faster than others. It's the balancing isn't perfect, but it's pretty
Yeah.
good.
It's mostly balanced for single bingo, so that's why it kind of feels that way in triple.
Yeah, so sometimes you'll have 3 really fast rows on any given board.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that was I don't know. I mean, obviously we're early, but that may be the closest race we see for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Nutty.
we can only
That's
hope,
crazy.
right? That there's
I
more.
was super surprised that it was even just a 6-second difference on last face,
Yeah.
and I couldn't believe my eyes when I was thinking, man, this may come down to who does picture match faster.
Yeah, I was hoping Briguy wouldn't know that you could win it with 4 pieces.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how you guys feeling about the rest of your groups? To be honest with you, I haven't looked too deep into the groups. We
actually only have one other person.
Yeah, there's only one other
Gotcha.
player.
Our 4th dropped out. So
Yeah.
gotcha. That
I'm not
happens,
familiar with them, but I can try my hardest regardless, and
yeah.
we'll see what happens.
I'm just looking forward to more matches. Hopefully I
I
win my next
definitely.
one so that I can keep going. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
it's definitely going to get a lot more intense once elimination starts.
yeah,
Mhm.
the thing is, I think a lot of people regard me and Briguy as like probably like top 5 bingo players. So it's kind of
Mhm.
unfortunate that we got matched up so early.
Yeah, so my problem is that I don't run as much any percent as everyone else, so my any percent time is a lot worse than like my average bingo time, and so it's unfortunate that we got matched up together. But
It was kind of
It
cool to
happens.
have such a high level match early, though.
Yeah,
really showing off just the talent and just the thought process that goes into pulling off this bingo cards. Like you guys probably like okay, one thing that it's always nice to know, like when did you okay, this is what I'm going for sure. Like did you get out of Cascade and then you're like, okay, I already know what I'm doing, or did you get out of Cap Kingdom? There's a pretty long cut
yeah,
scene where you
Spark Pylon on Cap, I was ready. Like you saw
Okay,
me
gotcha.
grab some of those regionals right at the start of Cascade. Like I knew I was going for 25 regionals at that point.
Yeah. I most of the time, like I will not leave Cascade until I know my route.
Definitely.
Gotcha.
But most of the time I have it by like when I'm doing like the brutal fight in Cascade. By the time I hit that, I generally have my route down. But
Yeah,
if I
I'd say
don't-
that's typical.
If I don't, I will not leave Cascade until I know for sure what I'm doing,
Gotcha,
because
gotcha.
I'd rather take some time to figure it out rather than frantically get halfway through sand and realize I'm doing all the wrong stuff.
I agree. That's probably one thing that I'm a little lacking on is like I'm looking for like moments where I can think. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, so
I was
I'm like
fairly sure that you both had
as I
your
go.
routes.
Oh, sorry.
I was fairly sure that you both had your routes for entering Cascade because you both skipped cutscenes so fast.
Yeah.
I actually didn't have it nailed down completely when I was entering Cascade, but I just blow through those cutscenes either way.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of
you
handy.
just
I know
start doing stuff.
there's more downtime in Cascade, so I kind of knew I was going for the coins at least, so I was able to get those right away. And there wasn't much else Cascade-wise on this board, and like the 16 moons, you don't have to worry about until after the brutal fight anyway.
Mhm.
So, I know there's downtime with like the moon you break with the chain chomp and all that stuff,
Mhm.
brutal cutscenes. So
Yeah, brutal.
I don't really worry about it too much until I get through that brutal cutscene. If I'm not solid on my route, then I'm in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of nice to pick the brains of the like you said, the top level runners of this. Like, where do you take your time, or like where do you like, or like
So-
even things that you shy away from. So like if you could just like what on this board would you say no way I'm doing that? That's
Okay,
way too
Yeah.
much.
So
right
that
away,
I can.
32 moons in Metro.
No.
I said,
Yeah. Never.
Not a chance. Outside of that, honestly, World Peace and Wooded is usually something I avoid as well. But
Mhm. It
there
just
was World
fortunate.
Peace and Three Kingdoms,
it
so
was
it
a-
kind of
Yeah.
and
it
and
comboed
getting
nice.
Peace and Cascade and Lake is pretty free. Like you almost always do that regardless. So getting the third one in Wooded, like getting Peace and Wooded was basically 2 goals for 1. So that
Mhm.
made that really good.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
To say
gotcha.
like a little more about my process, I star all the goals that are like Metro and beyond at the start, and just look to
Uh-huh.
see if the card can be completed before Metro. And so like the
Okay.
first ones I starred were like 32 moons, 14 in Seaside, 10 in Snow, and like 110 moons. I don't think you ever really want to do that in a triple.
So you start the ones that you're like, maybe I'll think about these later.
Yeah, I'm like the ones that like are Metro and beyond pretty much, and then see if the card can be completed before that.
Gotcha.
And this card could, so then I was like, okay, this has to be the route.
Yeah, I
So
think
just-
it's actually interesting that we picked the same route because that normally,
Mhm.
in my experience, almost never happens. But
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
just because this was like the one way you could get it to complete without ever actually doing anything in Metro,
Yeah.
it was kind of a no-brainer.
And so, if anybody's not familiar with what he means by starring, on the bingo website, you can like star to kind of like, just pretty much highlight without, checking it off. So,
Right.
just for own personal reference. So,
It's something for you to mark the board without the other racers.
Exactly.
It's there for sanity.
mhm, mhm. So yeah, but thank you guys so much. That was an awesome race. Make sure you guys go follow these guys. You guys are pretty much, I see you guys on all the time, doing SMO stuff. So it's always awesome to see, a race this close. Like it, no matter what, like whatever game you're racing or anything, to see one this close is always super exciting. So
Yeah, that was crazy. Thank you both for commentating. Definitely
yeah,
follow your
it's
commentators.
Awesome.
It was a pleasure. Crazy board.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to do more. I love bingo.
Yep.
Mhm.
Same.
So thank you guys so much, everybody who watched. Chat, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And make sure you guys follow the speed gaming channels. If you like speed running, if you like speed races, it's pretty much going on all the time. It's speed gaming 1 through 4. So follow all these channels. If you want to see what's coming up next, you can. I think there's an exclamation point bingo or SMO bingo to see what's coming up next, or to see the schedule. So just thank you guys so much for hanging out, and I think that'll be it for us now. Vash, thank you so much. That was awesome.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining me, Nerd.
Yeah, of course. But that'll be it for us, guys. Thank you so much.
Yep, thanks for stopping by.